Zombies here. Gonna invite a couple people up. Until then, I think we got we'll go an episode 2 recap with the song created by I Am Six, and this is for the 2 and 4 recap that we did last week. And if you're listening on Spaces right now, you'll be able to hear it and you'll be able to see it visually as well. I should probably share my screen. So that pops up, and hopefully we don't get an echo here. Let's see, I think it's that one. And let's see if this audio works, but it's over here. Love it, love it. Welcome all my aliens, apes, and zombies. Back at it again. It is Crypto Novo. So we're back on a Monday. Usually we're on Sunday, but we wanted to take that extra day off just for all of Memorial Day happenings that is happening out there. I want to do a mic tech with Dr. Doge. Dr. Doge, can you hear us at all? I can see you. I don't know if you can hear us at all. We'll work on you with Dr. Doge down there, but make sure you're retweeting the room right now. And if you look up on top how this works here in the Novoverse is Paris Schulten is streaming live video action where you can see this awesome AR filter that you're seeing right here. And I know we have Sprocket Beats down there looking to maybe get one of these filters. So hit us up, Sprocket Beats. That song right there is by I Am Six, and that was a recap of week 2, where we have our host Avery Piper from 2 and 4, and which physical clothing line that has handwritten seed phrases all over it. And that's what the recap is from week 2. So you can retweet that as well because that song is up on top. AP, how we doing? How are you doing on this Monday? It feels like a Sunday, but it's a Monday.
It does.
You're one day closer through this work week.
Yeah, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking, Noah. I unlike many, I guess I work in like a retail world where a lot of the time when people have off, I am on. So when people are taking a break, enjoying themselves, I am supplying them with sneakers. I work at a sneaker shop. So that's what I have been up to. But life is great. The weather's finally good in New York, and I'm just happy to be on the show. So thanks for having us all, Novo, and yeah, we're great.
I like what you're sporting there. What kind of Adidas threads you wearing?
Well, I have a little Wag Me merch. We can get into this. This is actually, one of the questions that I want to ask Novo. And, we'll get into it after. Let's introduce everybody else. But involving this shirt that I have on, I have a question for the group to break the ice in a moment.
Beautiful. Who you want to call on next? We want to do a mic check with Doge, or I know.
Let's do a mic check with Doge. That's a good idea. Doge, how you doing, man?
Might need a minute. Might need a
Wait a
minute.
second. We can see you. You
He's
look good.
beautiful. We'll go over to 6 then. We'll give Doge a couple seconds here. Take your time, Doge. Not a big deal at all. And by the way, we'll pull up 6 here, and it is I am 6 with the I. The number 6 with I and X, which is actually our POAP secret word for today. POAP secret word for today. And my bad on the error on the POAP is I created the POAP, but Dr. Doge's gas mask snuck in there on the picture. And POAP said, oh, sure, yeah, we can have this POAP. So I couldn't edit it. So this will be the variant to edit it if you're collecting the POAP out there. The secret word is I am 6. I'll announce that a couple times because that is a hot live button there. But 6, how we doing?
I'm doing good on this Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day to everybody. Man, I was able to knock out the records and get everything done for this week. So yeah, I was just excited to get back with y'all and share everything with you guys and the people.
Yeah, man, it sounds so good. And it's just like one of those things where I was actually showing it off, your sounds to friends this weekend, and we were bumping it and making and making good times with it. And that's what it is about making good times with our friends. And thank you for continuing to contribute in these awesome ways, because your skills are ridiculous. And maybe we'll ask you some more in-depth questions on those skills. Thank you for all who are watching streaming at home right now and who are tuning in, listening right now. Ian, nice to see you again. So AP, what direction do we want to go in here until I'm sure Doge will buzz in when when his mic is all good. But what question do you have for us on this lovely Memorial Day?
Yeah, I speaking of like merchandise, I think one of the things I've liked is, I've been able to get some merchandise from some of the things that I hold. I spent a lot of money on some stuffs, not some other stuff, which I got amazing like quality stuff from. But my question to the group is like, what's everybody here's favorite utility that you've ever gotten from holding an NFT? So it could be anything. Anything from like being able to identify something, hint, Novo, or it can be like, physical merchandise, or can be access to something. But like, what's been everybody here? What's been your favorite kind of thing that you've gotten that comes alongside with holding an NFT? 6, I'll hand it to you.
Well, I'm not as experienced or have as many NFTs as far as that would come with a lot of utility. But to me, I would say my void, and being able to have the IP, and being able to do have the 3D capabilities, all the different things that come with the voids. I definitely am bullish on them and everything that they got going on, because the capabilities are out of this world. The Voyagers have came, as an addition to the void. So for me, since I don't have a bunch, I'll definitely say that.
It's crazy that you say that, because I was thinking the same thing. Like the best utility I have is from the void, but it's not that, but it's more of the void army and just like the connections I made within there. One of which being Dr. Doge, and just like the connection that he can honestly create and build anything. And we've seen him do it time and time again. Maybe it's a victim of circumstance right now, or probably not working, but it is something that has really pushed the forefront of what utility is for me and what I can do within being able to be visually in an EHAM gallery in Paris, but not physically be there, and vice versa, where people can be immersed with me while I'm digitally there in VR. What's up, Gary? Nice to hear you and see you, Gary. Oh, we're requesting Dr. Doge. We'll bring you up here, my friend. You can always speak right through.
There we go.
Oh, we got it. You might have an echo here with me on Spaces. But yeah, I would say utility wise would be a void, because you had the first 3D rig model like way back in the day, like not even knowing what to really do with it at the time, but knowing that science was out there as far as computer science within an NFT. Doge, how's your mic doing? I think I heard you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Biggest utility in an NFT that you've had.
Right here.
Yeah, there it
Love it.
is.
Digital identity. I'd say that's about 100% of it. Even voids personally for me, obviously, but like just that having that in general. All right, you see a lot of NFTs. I mean, yeah, PFPs go a long way. That's something for recognizable. You know what I mean? But something that can truly give you that, and I don't even know if I want to use that word digital identity because look at you, Novo, right? You go out to these physical events. That is a digital identity that's crossed over into the real world. You know what I mean?
Love that. That's so
You're
right,
known
Doge.
both on like everywhere. It doesn't matter. You go out with that mask, that tassel hat. You don't even need Chewbacca outfit, bro. You could go out with that tassel hat, and
He doesn't
people would
wear the
go.
Chewbacca IRL. He doesn't wear
I,
it.
but still, like either way, like so many people, there's so many pics. Look, it's always in the back. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
what people realize, like that. And I guess whether that's a digital identity, whether that's a, you know, full on whatever identity, something that can allow you to have that. And 3D model, especially with this with the voids, man, that's icing on the cake. That's a plus, big time.
And I'll rewind just to put a little spice into it. You know, I've been able to have my board when I had a board ape. It got taken away, unfortunately, but like having the utility to go into the original Ape Fest, the original, but you know, there's been original, I shouldn't say it like that, the one in 2021.
The first, yeah.
The first.
And it was just like cool having that opportunity and cool being able to get into those, you know, concerts and venues and seeing people. So like, yeah, that's like practical utility, but like I would say like best overall would be like that because it's like people like it's scary like listening on spaces right now where I'm able to connect with him, and that pretty much started as a void, and like finding out kind of what was next, and like honestly like Holiday kind of pulling me under his wing, like telling and showing me what like a 3D rigged model was. Like I had no idea, and this is well before Meebits came out, and you know, seeing the true capabilities of what was really out there, and to the fact that I didn't even mint any board apes. Voids and board apes came out at the same time, and I was on the void bandwagon because I wanted the science behind it. AP, how about you? How about you on this question?
Yeah, and just to add, I think one thing that I really admire is the folks that were really able to like take that quick leap into like identifying as like a digital thing. I think one of the issues that I had early on is like, you know, I really wanted a CryptoPunk or something that looked a little more like human, like something that looked maybe a little bit more like me. It's like what I wanted to do, but I obviously I didn't like have the funds and like I think I was being a little bit too particular about how I want to identify. Now I use a void as my PFP, which is amazing because all of this group also has voids, and it's nice. It's nice to feel like part of something with this group. But I really do. I've always had I've always had a desire to like really have this digital identity. I just never really got that enabled, and I think part of what the project that I'm doing is going to help like hopefully steer that. Maybe I'll buy one back at some point so I can use it, but it's not really a PFP. So there's all this stuff going on. But anyways, I think my favorite thing that I've gotten has, funny enough, because my project kind of almost like makes fun of it, or is on purpose, like kind of making fun of it. The Adidas hoodie, like the very first thing that they gave away to holders of like the Adidas, it wasn't called Alts at the time, but Into the Metaverse. I use that hoodie so much. I'm not really someone who buys a lot of material things. So it was one of the things I got the most utility out of. I just wore this thing all the time and it was really comfortable. So funny enough, it's like the stuff that I feel like I'm almost not necessarily against, but always like, hey, what more can there be? I love that hoodie. So big shout out to Adidas for that. And I love this WAGMI merch. This is fantastic. Obviously the team isn't doing too great and there's other issues going on with this NFT situation. I think they want it to be something really quickly where it's going to be like more of a slower build as with most of these projects that are out there. But I really love this like Adidas, and I love having the squiggle on the shirt. Is like that's cool. Like I have a little bit of pride there. It's like being a part of this space. I feel like squiggles, funny enough, kind of represent. Talking for a while here, squiggles represent the space really well, the same way CryptoPunks do, and I think to some degree voids do as well. So that's my answer. But let's get into the show. I'm super excited to chat. I think that was my question for the group. And I think for 6, if we want to just dive in, I think this is obviously all about you. I think the first thing that I thought of, and I really don't consider anybody here anybody who complains, because nobody here in this group is like somebody who like always says, oh no, like I'm struggling with this thing, or like I don't know. I always feel like this is a really uplifting group, but I'm super interested, especially in your world, like the music world. What do you feel like, and this is big picture, but what do you feel like maybe needs to change, or what are you trying to change, or what do you see as like, things that are blocking people from getting stuff done or being a part of the music world, like, or being a part, or making it their living? Like, what's something that you see that's like an obstacle that maybe you faced, but also you see a big picture other people facing?
I would definitely say one of the obvious obstacles in music period is bad contracts. So, a person that is an independent artist that's trying to get into the industry, they probably have no idea of how this music business works. Do they do music, but they don't necessarily understand how the business works. Those are two different things, like completely. So, uh, having studied for years and been up under legends that you would think own their masters to their music, they don't, because they've signed a bad contract years ago, which was just to chase their dream or whatever. So, for me, that's what I like about the blockchain and NFTs is that you can be independent and have your own ownership and govern yourself and still be able to have that direct connection with your supporters or fans, whatever you want to call them. I call them supporters because to me, it's not in this sense, it's not really so much just a fan, because back in the day, a fan would just be able to purchase something from you and then that's kind of it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have any ownership of it. You're not building with the person in any type of way. You don't have a direct relationship. So I think this is like a whole it's a new door opening for people who may not understand about bad contracts and they may not never have to experience it. You know, they can come in and get up under somebody that already has experience, or just learn about smart contracts and how to set things up and how to build your community and go from there. And you can actually do the same things that a record company would do for you if you understand what they actually do.
That's amazing. I think, yeah, one thing that I'm lucky, not because I did it on purpose, but because I think I approach life this way, is I always like to read everything, like the fine print of everything. Like, I'm very cautious. Maybe it's just the way I was raised and grew up, but that's the one thing that I've always looked out for, is like, language, like specific language and contracts, or anything that like makes the bells in my head ring or whatever. Just like something's off, or like maybe I'm getting taken advantage of. I think, it's tricky, because even in this space too, there are people who take advantage of others, and for financial gain and for just like ownership of their stuff. And I think it's something that we're going to run into in this space as much as we do in any other. But it's nice that it, like you said, it's a little more transparent and together. We're doing this thing together. But Novo or Doge, do you guys have a question or thoughts on that?
I think it's just, just stemming from what Spotty Wi-Fi has been trying to accomplish and has accomplished, is just finding that ownership and that track of someone who can just self-create and self-own. And that own ecosystem is something that is difficult to sustain, especially if you don't own the rights to it at the end of the day. You saw it with Taylor Swift digitally remastering all her work. And instead of the old labels getting all the money when that's played on the radio, it's all her stuff remastered. She's pretty much, please play this. It's the new stuff. And she just gets paid in perpetuity for that. Very similar to the smart contracts that are being woven within this whole, cryptocurrency and NFT ecosystem. And I think it's a great thing. And the next forefront on that is very similar stuff that like Doge is creating, is taking those visual samples and creating those of moments in time of what that background, that backdrop, that skybox, that avatar looks like. So then it could just be brought and you can get paid for your work. And that's what the important thing it is. And it's if you're going to sample, if someone's going to sample your work, then you can get paid for that as well. It's just like, buying a derivative. It all works within that. And the most interesting thing about this whole NFT space, it's now a level playing field where it is catching the eye of people. And everyone's talking about and worried about AI. Well, they should be worried about AI, because in my thought process is like, people like to almost hear almost the same tone, where now when you're listening to musicians sing, you don't know if it's a male or a female. Like, honestly, some of them are so monotone that it almost appeases the ear in a mathematical way. And that's what eventually all this science to music will find its way to the surface. But it's all about originality and owning that originality first.
Doge, what do you think? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, no, you hit it right there on the head, Novo, about the originality. Like I said, especially like these days. I mean, everything's going to it. You remember even what, I mean, 10 whatever years ago, 15 maybe, I don't know. I mean, sampling's been around for a bit, but it's still, you know what I mean? Like, it's becoming, I guess, more common like these days for things like this. But you see, people like Six, man, make a beat in an instant, like something like this. And you always know, that's what think I touched on this last week about that. Like, there's almost nothing that you've put out that's like almost the same. Like, everything since I've known you has always been unique, that whole different vibe to it. Like I said, and I think that's something too that even with AI, right? I don't think that's something we got to worry about, because AI will just give it a easier way to make it your own unique, right? You train the model of the AI how you want it to be, and you're good to go. That's it. Give it, no, if you don't want it to be somebody else's, just feed it samples of what your music is, and that's that. If it knows nothing else to work off, why would you fear something that it's just working off for your stuff? You know what I mean? So that's another way to look at it too. You can't always just think of it like, oh, that's going to kill the game or do that. But definitely, I think that's going to actually spread more originality. The more people start to figure out how to use that and go about it. Yeah.
For those of you who are listening right now, how our spaces works here, if you look up at the top at the pinned tweets, the one that's Novoverse actually shows it live action. Dr. Doge running around right there. And actually, if you go to Dr. Doge's Twitter handle as well, you can watch this live video as well. And then all the video or all the sounds come through my microphone, so there's not a bad echo. So that's why you see the Crypto Novo head speaking away up there. Marilda, nice to have you back again. It's Gary, good to see you. Ian again. Metal Malone, it's been a while, but glad to have you back on. Sporkit Beats, and then Jedi and Megatron, maybe live business meeting talk right now, is maybe he's the next person we have on the show, because he is a shirt holder. We're trying to get more utility out of the shirt holders, so maybe we bring him on the show. Just a thought out loud. But today is a day of I Am 6. And with that being said, what he does is he sums up our shows. And these shows come back and into music video form, so then we can all watch it and enjoy it. And what I did 5 minutes ago, and no one's even seen this, well, actually now, drats, I wasn't even get to premiere it myself, but 6 people liked it. 2 people already commented on it. And I don't know if we want to premiere this now or later or however we want to do it, but there is a tweet right now, and I guess I should put it on the top of our show right here. There is a tweet out there now. I'm doing too much. What button do I want to push? There's a tweet out there now that actually has the recap of last week's show 6 days ago, where Dr. Doge, that is Square Bush 91, we had a music video for that. So I don't know, you guys want to watch that now? You want to watch it later? What do you guys want to do?
Let's check it out.
I'm about to listen to it.
You might not be able to hear it, my friends, on the Novoverse in Restream, but it is a pinned tweet right now. Retweet this so then we can get that out there and about. But this will relate back to I Am 6. The song is by 6. The video that you're seeing here is pretty much Dr. Doge. There's not pretty much anything. Is Dr. Doge in VR. Let's see. The best way to view this would be to start from the beginning. Hold on a second. Yo, before the
Yeah, boy.
POAP. I got 2 minutes on the POAP. I am six. That is capital I, lowercase am, the number six, and an I and an S right there. That is the POAP, man. You better retweet that. Dr. Doe,
Oh,
Dr. Doe, man, what do you think of that? You got your own song now, my friend.
When I go to WrestleMania 2026, that's gonna be my walkout song, dog. Right?
Go.
When I'm popping out at the World Series, because I know how to time travel in about 15 years, that's gonna be my walkout song. This is the fucking theme, dude. Thank you, Six. Holy, you hit like that was it. You know what I was talking about? That's that vibe, bro. That's that vibe. Yeah, yeah, yo.
We
Even
got
in the early on, dog. Yes.
now we got to
Holy
shoot a
shit.
film. You know that's just
Oh yeah,
so yeah. We got man. We got. Hey, I'm gonna just
dude.
say,
Yes.
like the putting the content together was an easy thing because the things that Doge is already the stuff that y'all seeing in that video, that's not me. Doge is already doing that. You know what I mean? So putting the edit together with my music was actually simple because everything he does is so visual. So and that's how I write. I write in kind of like where people can see things. So by me being able to just take his clips that he have already, it's easy to piece it together. But yeah, Doge, we gotta shoot a real video for this stuff.
I'm here for it. Like I said, yeah, yeah, dude. Even that, like this. All right, so there was the vert, right? And I'm assuming, I'm a Wheezy F. It's me. I'm a Wheezy F fan. I heard some, man. They had some references in there. I seen that, man. That I'm gonna go back and listen quite a few more times. Yeah, dude, watching the video in between here and seeing it. like you said, man, I'm happy too that you was actually able to take at least what I was able to send. Come in, there's so much half the time I don't even remember like what I've shot, what I've filmed, what works, what it goes. And like just watching something like this put together that like, just I guess clips. I never really see stuff like this from from my point of view of what's there. But see, dude, this is yeah.
Your
Thank
avatar
you.
has goosebumps, Dr. Doge. Your avatar has goosebumps. There again, you have a couple
Bro,
seconds to claim that POAP,
yeah.
get in there and get that POAP. But I guess this kind of maybe this leads me into like the next line of questions here for you, Six, is like one, you mentioned in the green room prior, and you always say this as like it's really easy for you to like just create this and almost like write the summary of just the situation that's around us, us being friends, us having meetings, us doing live shows, et cetera, et cetera. Um, is that, back to your studious days that you're saying, just like taking your time, writing notes, so almost back to the first question that you said, like, is that what helped you along this way? Or is it maybe like your friendship circle? And maybe you could talk a little bit about that, of like the creative friends that you hung around, growing up that got you into this, maybe hip hop game, I guess you'd call it back in the day.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of both, or not even just both, but everything. Like, and I talked to one of my friends about this recently, and it's kind of like saying I've been all the stuff that I've been doing. Like, I put myself through what I would say like artist development. Um, I let's just I'll start. Let me go back a little bit. Like, first, I grew up watching my dad do all the same stuff that I'm doing, and I seen him do it every day. Uh, Dedication, nobody telling him or making him do anything, just something that he was very passionate. He was a independent person, making his own clothes, making his own like everything. And at the time when I was young, I didn't really know and see exactly, get exactly what he was doing. But now as I'm older and like we're in this phase of really seeing how things are, I wish he was still alive, because I know for sure he would. I would get him into NFTs and music and everything, and be able to incorporate it all. But so following behind my dad, he ended up getting sick. He got a disease called sarcoidosis at about 35. So before this, he was doing all my production for me and my groups. Like, he's always been like my main person that I didn't have to go to a studio and pay for studio time. I didn't have to pay for beats. I didn't have to do so. Me growing up was and going through music is a little different than other people, because for one, music costs. If you're gonna do shows, sometimes you gotta pay to be in shows. Other times you have to pay for clothes to be able to, look the part. You gotta pay for studio time. Like, it's a lot of money that has to get put out from the beginning before anything ever happens or whatnot. So uh I learned a lot from my dad, and I had a couple groups that I was in as well. And so writing and working with them in groups, connecting with great legends, working with Mac Dre, working with Warren G. Uh, those people I haven't. Well, Mac Dre I work with specifically, and he was at my house, and I've been in the studio with him and things like that. Warren G, we've worked. He lives in California. I live in Portland, and we've worked together, but it's been more or less sending things and stuff like that. So my influences like that, I learned from them from a distance. And it's not even like they're specifically showing me to do stuff, but I'm a sponge. I take notes. And that's what comes down to this too. Like, if I sit and take notes on anything, whether it's school or this, I just treat it like school. And my favorite class was I always like to write. So pertaining that to being the rap part, and then having the dedication and the other part to be able to stick to it and create the music, I would say it's just a combination of everything.
It adds up, like you're saying. It is a whole realm of it. Speaking of it adds up, we are live on Twitch. We are live on YouTube at Crypto Novo 311. drdoge.eth. You might have to spell out dot if you're on Twitch. Paris Shilton has us going. The Novoverse has us going. We're multi-streaming and multiple multiverses as well. We are talking with Six. That is, I am the number 6 with an IX at the end of it. Avery Piper as well with us. Largowitz, welcome to listening. I'm glad that you are here listening to the conversation, because what we do is we pretty much recap. And how are you going to recap yourself here? Do you have like your own theme song? But I want to actually rewind, Six. I want to rewind to what Doge says. Like, it's going to be his I call it WWF because I'm old school, but WWE. I don't want to get sued by the World Wildlife Federation, but that's the World Wrestling Federation, because that's, I saw the first couple WWFs. But if you go out there, Doge, and that's your theme song, I'll be the manager. I'll be like the Paul Bear walking the Undertaker out. And I'll create some shenanigans, grab some shoelaces, rile up the crowd. And why not have some crypto punks out there next to some wrestlers? And then also if that's your you're gonna do your bat flip for your walk-off home run too, I'll be your bat boy. All right, my friend, I'll be your bat boy, but not like Barry Bonds' child that almost got nailed at home plate. I'll be a respectful bat boy off the side and make sure that
respect that. Look,
your bat goes in the Hall of Fame there. But Six, like, how would you recap yourself? I mean, like, songs come easy to you. I mean, I see the variety when you have a song. Like, there's no one song sounds the same. I mean, that's almost a catch. Your quick-wittedness of how to incorporate even someone mentioning something one time about something in the past that you're able to bring into a song. So how do you sum up yourself? Or is the song going to be like 45-minute autobiography?
I like that idea.
It's fine.
I don't have a specific theme song. I remember we was talking in Discord and you gave me some ideas about really kind of doing music for myself, and because I don't really do that, and I draw and I paint and stuff like that, so I could definitely, the same way I did 2 and 4 and all these different, like, I could do it for myself. So I thought about it earlier. I was like, dang, so what am I gonna do? So I imagine I'll just rewatch this video, rewatch it all, and step back from me being me and view it as one of the viewers or somebody that doesn't know information about me, but then include the things that I do know about myself that other people don't know, that I can be able to put in there.
Like self-scouting. It's almost like self-scouting yourself in the NFL or NHL or NBA, or self-scouting yourself. Very interesting there. It's almost like a flashback. And for those of you who are listening, you can always watch this later if you're not watching it right now, or again on YouTube and on Twitch. And we're gonna keep on bringing more interesting guests up. And maybe we will have Meta Jetatron on in the next couple weeks here. AP, what are your thoughts? You have any questions? Creativity here behind Six. Same thing with like the song that he made for 2 and 4 last week, which you can see up on the top pin tweet, is just an amazement of how quick-witted it is, and just like pounds it out in a week. No,
it's super impressive. I'm thinking about a lot. I'm just literally just taking it all in. I think I there's 2 things that I thought about. I'm forgetting the second one. The first thing though that Six mentioned is kind of like, I almost see it as like, it's important to have people in your life that like you see be successful, or at least like do things in a certain way in order to learn from them and like pick things up. Like he's saying, like it's a sponge, like have things through osmosis. That's so important. And especially when you have somebody that close in your life showing you that, it's like, that's something I think you guys have been to me too. Like you guys have each individually shown me ways to be successful through the specific things that you guys do. That's one of the huge benefits that this whole group has been to me. So not to get too sentimental, but like definitely has been hugely influential for me and important. Like you should be it's both sides of it, right? Like you're seeing other people do things and you try to like at least be in their group to understand and learn how they are successful. But also, there's a path you're trying to carve out for yourself that's never existed before in human history in your way, because you're doing it your way. So I think there's two sides to that, to always be like, that was an amazing edit right there. I didn't even see that. That felt like a little thing. No, but I'm just mad impressed. And like, yeah, six is a savage. He goes hard. So I'm excited to see where this leads further. And I forget what you were saying after Novo, but I had something to say that I forget. But just impressed, taking it all in.
You wanted to say hi to Sierra, who just started listening. And tell her that you're sporting
That's
there.
right. What up, Sierra?
And almost just sporting the Adidas jacket, very similar to AP and the Adidas shirt that he's wearing
Sure.
right there. Doge, how about you
Yo.
put 6 on the hot spot and ask him a question that's been burning in that gas mask of yours?
All right. So first off, I just gotta admit, like 6, that's one thing I gotta say, man. Respect for, because I'm not a sponge like that at all. Y'all know me, bro. I forget half the time. That has never been one of my strong suits. Yeah, like that's stuck in my head. That's why that's stuck. That's why. So I don't ever. So like that is by far a skill. Like I even remember, man, I wasn't even like looking down, but I just never could figure out how, like, even throughout school, bro. I was more like, okay, it's there, but man, it come to taking notes. I was more of like a reader, like a hands-on thing. I couldn't take no notes, man. I'd be seeing people writing down, and I'm just over there like, all right, man, when's lunchtime? You know what I mean? Like the bare minimum of writing it down. Just to come do stuff. But I got that by far. So I've been thinking about this. Like, and I know you've worked, with some pretty like high up there people, but is there any like really a defining moment out of all of this between like that happening? I know you say like with the dad and everything, like the past and like everything else. Like, is there something that really, even from out this, that really was like, yo, I know this is where I'm gonna be doing for like from now on out, like for the rest of my, like, I know it's music. You know what I mean? Like, has there been something that was like that for you? Like, has there any been like moments? I guess maybe that's a wording it wrong, but like something that's like maybe it's not, maybe it is, and something that was like, all right, yeah, no, I know for a fact it is. Like, yeah.
Uh, yeah, I mean, I think I have a couple of those moments, but I would say the one that sticks out to me is being discovered by Warren G on MySpace. So the reason why
Nice.
that sticks out to me is because I've met and connected with a lot of other people through social media or whatnot, but like MySpace, that was back when
Yeah.
things first started. So what this did for me was it encouraged me to put music out there. I had music that I was putting out around my city, and people knew about me, and I was really buzzing around my city and the surrounding areas or whatnot. But if you're not getting out of there, then the other people in those other areas don't necessarily know about you. And this was the early on stages of social media. So by me actually being open to put my music out there, not even knowing who it was going to reach, he came across it and he sent me a message randomly one day, and I contacted him, and from there the rest is history. We're great friends now. But I think when that happened, it really just let me know, because there was times that I was discouraged before then. Like, man, I don't know. Like, I mean, I know I've always grown up doing music, and this is in my blood. It comes from my dad, and I'm a Cancer. I'm an artist, so it's in me. Look at all the art. Like,
Yes.
I'm art altogether. But just with the music, though, yeah, I think that was like a turning point for me. Also, getting, what should I say, the cosign from him. I've already worked with another legend as well. Rest in peace to Mac Dre. And he co-signed me as well. So it was just like a reassuring thing, to let me know that the music that I'm doing can get the eyes and the ears of these top people. It's just about you getting it out there. And it's about everybody who does music or anything. It's about it being seen. There's a lot of good people that do great work, but it's unseen. If you can't get it out there, then that's the downfall. And so put the stuff out there, and you never know. That's really what I get from it.
It's almost
Hell
valid.
yeah.
almost validating when you get, maybe an alpha in the game that, reaches out, wants to know more. And then next thing you know, it's, guidance and advice going both directions where it's just, or he's trying to find out what's next and you're trying to get traction and it just helps out both, and I've seen, and I don't know if you've shared it publicly or not, but just like, you just like pretty much like Ice Cube's on stage and you have like the best seats in the house, and like you're going here and you have like the best seats in the house, and like, and like, but that is accolades to your work, and you've been in that space for a while and not being like, you know, not being the newbie that's, first time in general mission way in the back, but like, the tricks of the trade, the people in the game, and that's what classifies you in the direction that you've been heading in. Make sure that you're retweeting up there. That's tweets the Novoverse VR recap video, where it has Avery Piper as their host. It has I am six with the multi-talented artists, from music to art to NFTs. He has NFT music drops, to Dr. Doja's music video, and all that we mint within the framework of a show. And that's what we're doing right now. We're going to be talking and making a video for Six. After, he pumps out the song in about a week, we go collectively and get the videos just from the shows and other things that we've produced, and just try to make a fun video that we can share with our friends and share with you each week here. Avery Piper, what direction do you want to go here, my friend?
I'm chilling. I'm super happy. I think we got, at least I want to make sure Six feels like he got what he wanted out of this episode, because he's going to be analyzing himself, seems like. But no, I'm super hype. I think we got a lot done in this episode. I want to make sure folks got the POAP if they did, but I know it's the timing is over, so they'll be on to the next episode where we'll have the next POAP, and I'm excited for what we premiere next. No, what about you?
If you didn't get that POAP and it's not claimed, just hit me up, because I always have a backup plan.
Little extras.
The POAPs too. If not, head into the Discord of Crypto Novo there. That's in my bio link, in my link tree, I should say. Not in my bio, but in my link tree. You can hop in there. And then Six, how about you? What's the best way people can get a hold of you if they need a jingle made, if they need a song for themselves, if they need to be heard in this space, or if they just need simple ideas of what you've done? Like, one of your goals was you wanted to mint last year, and you did, and your goal was meant in the October timeframe, well ahead of your expectation before the end of the year. So, one piece of advice for everyone, and two, how to get a hold of you if people want to get a hold of you. And as you do that, I'll put your Twitter handle up there.
Well, yeah, you can get a hold of me. For one, I'm very open. I'm always willing to help. So obviously for, some of my services, depending on what it is, we had to talk about the business side of things, but my DMs are open always. Sometimes, please excuse me, some people, take me a little bit to get back, but I always definitely try to get back to everybody, and try to check all the DMs. So yeah, you can, all my socials is I am six. So Instagram, Twitter, I think my YouTube is a little different, but you can get to my link tree in my bio. And I would say for a little advice is build relationships. Relationships are important. Jumping back to the situation I have with Warren G, I've known him for 10 years now. We've done music together. I have unreleased music by him. I have a song that has Nate Dogg on it. I have a lot of stuff that is unreleased, and I've, worked with him and other people. But some people may be like, oh, you don't have a contract. You never put out any music with him. It's not important. The important part is building a relationship and learning. And like I said, being the sponge, learning the things that I get to learn from when I'm around him and put in these other situations and scenarios when I get to go with him and do these things. Because, timing is everything. And sometimes things aren't meant to happen at the time you think that they're meant to happen. So build relationships, which is what I love about that's one thing that attracted me to Web3 is the people and how you actually connect with each other. Sometimes you don't even know what somebody looks like, which is a great thing to me because it crosses out all the stuff that doesn't matter. You know what I mean? And you get to find the commonalities and similarities, and you move from there and you build on that. You know what I mean? So yeah, build relationships, definitely important.
I
Yeah, that's
sometimes
deep.
like that.
I sometimes forget what I look like sometimes. You guys have never judged me, and you guys are open and honest with me, as I am with to all my aliens, apes, and zombies. And I want to encourage everyone to do that because it's incorporating with everyone. And in this Web3 space, we have to be the guardians of this galaxy, and the naysayers, we got to get out of here. But you know what? You find out who those naysayers are real quick, and you find out who are your friends even quicker. Right there on his link tree has all his credentials that you want to do to see what he has made with the people he has made it with. And if not, just tune in every week because we're just jamming live action with him. And we're just going to keep on keeping on. We'll go into maybe a little meeting here to see what we're going to be having next week. If we want to have other people come on the show, if we want to keep it in this small format, but what we want to do is keep on growing. So hit that retweet out there. Up on the top again, the music video that has been made for week 3, and then there's also week 2's down there as well, with 2 and 4, and then also week 3 with I Am 6 with the songs behind all of this. That's it, Dr. Doge. Anything else for the good of the cause?
Yo, once again, dude, that freaking song, that's epic. That is freaking amazing. I'm gonna need an actual video. I know you know this, but yeah, I'm gonna need the actual video of this too. Yeah, yes.
No, we ain't really talking about it, but just quickly, I'm gonna need like a studio and then an area, maybe a portal where you can go into like a museum where I could put my art at.
Yep.
And then and then like a small stage somewhere where I could be able to perform with the art in the museum somewhere around me. The rest you could figure it out however you want to do it.
I got some stuff like this. Oh yeah.
So
Oh, it's
not to
gonna be
rush
sick.
this important aspect of it, but Dr. Doge just pretty much asked the outline for the video for 6. So like right there was just kind of the outline of how we're gonna probably how Dr. Doge creates anything is just man, he just gets that Neos out and he gets fired up and then he just starts
Get that itching, bro. Get the itching. Just get that little. You know what I'm saying? Get that itch.
DMs are open for all of us. If you guys need anything, reach out to us. If you're interested in making music videos, we can make it a music video for you. If you're watching live right now, I don't think the sound will come in on our newest music video for Dr. Doge, but we're gonna get that right on Twitter for you because it's right there, so you can tweet it, retweet it there, and eventually what we'll do is just have all 4 of the videos as our set on YouTube, so then people can watch all 4 of them, and as before, we branch out into others. With that being said, this is Crypto Novo. We got AP, that's Avery Piper with 2 and 4. We got Dr. Doge, that's at Square Bush 91, and 6, and at I am the number 6 with an I and the X at the end. We'll leave you with this song just pretty much 35 minutes ago, right when this started. We just minted it. I shouldn't say minted it. We haven't done that yet, but we 6 produced it and got all the VR clips from Dr. Doge. And all I pretty much do is retweet it. So thank you, my friends. I appreciate this. This is pretty dope stuff. Sweet content here. I'll go up to the live screen. I'm going to hit play. For all you out there that makes cool stuff, keep making cool stuff. And I just hang out with cool people that make cool things. So thank you very much. With that being said, we'll be back next week and we'll see who's with us. Stay positive and love life. Peace. Man, that song's great.